back in Miami. The Reds and Marlins reignite their set. Cincinnati tries to stay hot. It's been success in straight. The starting pitching has set the tone.
They really have, John. And when you're scoring runs in small amounts, you've got to be able to have your starting pitchers going deeper into the ball game, and they have to be precise. And that's exactly there from Brady Singer. Rhett Lauder followed it up, and a rookie pitcher pitching as well as this kid is right now. Great breaking balls for strikes, changeup extraordinaire, and man, you got to your head a couple of times when you watch these kids come out there. How about this guy? I mean, lightning bolts he's throwing from the mound, Chase Burns. I get excited every time I see him take the hill. You can't help but that adrenaline start to pump when you see reactions like that.
Went from Zeus in that game to Williamson's devastating change.
You know, John, I thought Williamson probably made the most dramatic comeback from his first start to his second start as anybody that is in this rotation. I thought he threw the ball awfully well. The changeup was spectacular last night, and he was able to get that breaking ball over early.
Pleasant good evening. Welcome back to Reds Baseball alongside our closer, the Cowboy, Jeff Brantley. I'm John Sadak. Jim Day on the way in just a bit. It's been a record-setting start for the Reds defense.
Yeah, I think when you look back at last year, there were a lot of comments about the Reds not catching the ball consistently. Well, that is no longer the case. Whatever the Reds have done during the offseason, kind of hard to practice your defense during the offseason, but the Reds have been able to make the plays, and they've made them consistently. It just seems like any ball that's hit, they have been able to cover the ground to get there, whether it's been in the outfield. God, what a catch by Friedel there. Or whether it's been on the infield. Check out Trevino on this play. I got it. I mean, that is acrobatic. With all that gear on, that's crazy. And even a little luck goes your way, but it took some quick hands and an accurate throw for McClain to make that play. Great communication here between he and Sal Stewart as he went down the line. I just think when you look at this overall defense, it seems like they're playing without pressure. Now, if they can translate that into the offensive side, I think we've got something rolling.
Yeah, the pitching has been pure. Today, it's a duel of opening day arms, including the Reds' Andrew Abbott.
Yeah, I thought Andrew threw the ball awfully well against the Boston Red Sox. It just seemed like there was so much talk in spring training that things weren't quite going his way, and a lot of wondering, okay, how is he going to respond in this opening day assignment? Well, I think he answered the bell about as good as you can answer the bell. 6 innings of shutout baseball against a pretty good offense in the Boston Red Sox. I think when you're watching Abbott and he's on his game, you see the breaking ball there. It's down in the zone, but he's also using the fastball. In that ball game against the Pirates, that one pitch there to O'Neal Cruz really cost him the ball game. It was really the only bad pitch that he made in the ball game, but it was a 3-run home run in the first inning.
Kane with 2-out damage, while his counterpart today, Sandy Alcantara, looks like the Cy Young candidate of old.
Quite a bit of change in the first 2 starts for Alcantara, and I think it comes down to fastball location predominantly. He's starting to get some swings on some off-speed pitches, a cutter there. We'll see quite a few changeups here tonight. Changeup keeps you off the fastball. If you don't believe it, look back at the tape last night for Williamson. That was spectacular.
Reds have had his number the last 3 times they've seen him, but he's coming off of a Maddox, a complete game, 9 innings, no runs, sub 100 pitches. Well, the Reds have a few streaks going even beyond the winning ledger. We'll go to break. When we're back, Jim Day on the way, up to the quad, to the gymnasium. A look at Ellie De La Cruz trying to stay hot.
Game plan at stelizabeth.com/Reds.
Cincinnati Reds baseball is presented by St. Elizabeth Healthcare and the Young Family Cancer Center, a regional leader in cancer care. By your Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky Toyota dealers. For all Toyota offers, go to toyota.com. And by O'Connor, Achani, and Levy, attorneys you know, attorneys you trust. Reds have won 4 straight, and they have flat out done it with pitching and defense. The offense has been lagging behind, but if you look close, you can find some bright spots in there. None more than Ellie De La Cruz and Sal Stewart hitting in the middle of that lineup. Our Kia player profile focuses on Elly De La Cruz. Comes into tonight's game riding a 7-game hitting streak, .310 average over that span. Couple of home runs, 4 runs driven in. That right-handed swing maybe looks as good as it ever has. His legs are healthy again. Boy, can he run. He scored a run in 6 straight games. That is 1 shy of tying his career high. Reds have not scored an abundance of runs as a team, but Elly himself has scored 25% of those runs this season. That is the highest percentage by any single player as far as their team runs go of anyone in Major League Baseball. Looking to score some tonight as Andrew Abbott goes to the mound looking for 5 straight. 5 would be fine. John and the Cowboy are next.
Moments away from first pitch, TJ Friedl and company. The Reds leadoff man, a bunt base hit, part of his first multi-hit showing this season last night.
Just get on base, baby. 3 for his last 8, starting to put the ball in play with some regularity.
He's been on base multiple times in consecutive contests. The Reds are due to break through with Alcantara into his wind. And we are underway. The Reds are tied for the 4th best record in the big leagues entering today. Only the Dodgers, Yankees, and Brewers a better record, but fewer pitching as well as Sandy Alcantara 2 starts into the year. Broken bat flare coming on hard. Hernandez, and he's got it. 1 away.
Well, you start out on the road 4-0. That's going to help you a lot in that record department.
Alcantara has not allowed an extra base hit yet this year. Matt McLean worked a walk, was 0 for 3 yesterday. He's been on base in 8 of 10.
Not yet, John. Not yet.
That could take Cowboy called it to a whole new level. Now, the Reds have been excellent in tight games. Terry Francona will tell you quickly he's eagerly awaiting an 8-run victory. Broken bat jam again. Otto Lopez. So out of the gate, Alcantara has wrecked a couple of bats and 2 pretty quick outs.
Definitely has the 2-seamer working here in the early going, and that may be the key to the success for Alcantara coming into 2026. It just seemed like last year that 2-seamer ran off the plate a lot. He pitched a lot of times behind in the count. If you're getting the fastball over the plate and you're getting weak contact, it makes the rest of your pitches shine.
Missed all of 2024 with injury. Swing and a miss, Elly De La Cruz. And had command woes last year. De La Cruz checking in with catcher Augustin Ramirez.
Looked like he caught Ramirez on the backswing.
De La Cruz now just below 270. Back-to-back multi-hit games. Right back to Alcantara. Lumber might have given way there again. It's up to Andrew Abbott, who has seen nothing but aces as the Reds' opening day man.
Visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Here tonight. Marlins were blank for the first time this year. Reds have shut out their opponent 3 times. Andrew Abbott makes his 3rd start.
Well, you look at the peripherals for Abbott here in the first 2 ball games, and I think it would hold true in his season last year. The fastball plays better for him than most pitchers at the big league level with their fastballs for someone who traditionally pitches below 95. And I think for Abbott it's a little bit of deception in this ballpark, especially if the ball plays the way that it did last night. That high riding fastball at the top of the zone, you're just going to hit fly balls into the outfield. They're caught.
Now, you had made that observation during the game last night, and I pulled several Reds in the clubhouse today who all felt the same as you, that depending upon the angle the ball was hit at, it had some odd hang time. Slater was 0 for 3 yesterday. Bounces this back to Abbott. The defense that backs Abbott up. Steer, Friedel, and Marte in the outfield. Noelvi gets the nod. Hayes, De La Cruz, McLean, Stewart, and Stevenson behind the plate. Now, the secondary stuff for Abbott has been hit some through 2 starts. The curve, the change, the sweeper. Combined, the league over 380 against it. That includes, of course, the one hanger that went to O'Neill Cruz, the critical 2-out, 3-run homer against the Pirates.
Yeah, and maybe the suggestion is, hey, throw more fastballs in the first inning until you get lengthened out, and then go back to the breaking ball.
Appeal says Augustine Ramirez win. But it's tempting, Cowboy, after Williamson's changeup devastated these Marlins yesterday.
Really kept them off balance.
And Ramirez tripled, nearly homered. Came just about as close as you can off the front corner, top of the pad, over top the Reds bullpen at right. Looking. There's the heat from Abbott. His first K today, 2 away.
Well, the pitch prior to that was a changeup just off the outside corner, and then Abbott comes back with his BB right on the money.
A lot of the Marlins' best young talent was built through trades. They got Ramirez in the Jazz Chisholm deal in July of 24. Jacob Marcy came over in the Luis Ariz trade in August of 24 and made major noise. He was, as a rookie, the National League Player of the Month in August last year.
Yeah, I think it's Sanoa is the only player that's come through their system. Everybody else is as you described.
Now, Marcy's not off to a great start this year, but he did line out twice, going 0 for 4 yesterday. Something Spencer Steer pointed out to me earlier today, they set off indoor fireworks right before the game starts. They did it again today. The smoke is still hovering. Looped in the air, shallow left. Hayes out, the calm call. There is a cloud layer in the upper third of this dome. Sal Stewart might just hit one right through the atmosphere. The Miami kid had a strong first game back in his hometown. What's he have on tap tonight?
Watching at FuboTV.com.
I think Hermione just summoned a Patronus. This is the smoke that still hangs here at Lone Depot.
Well, there's nowhere for it to go unless you've got some huge recover vent out there in left or right center field. Doesn't appear to be the case.
Sal Stewart chips this ball to right. Austin Slater. We were talking some just before coming back. Sandy Alcantara just looked overwhelming in that first inning.
Ball's coming out of his hand rather well. He looks like he's nice and easy. Well, he looks like he did 3 years ago. And that was about as good as it got. So the Reds are going to have to work for it tonight.
Eugenio Suarez 0 for 4 yesterday. Line to left. Did reach on an error. Big cut, strike 1. Now going back to last year, his last 10 starts, 7-1, ERA just over 2. He had toiled in 23 starts before that.
And let's remember too, he's coming off of Tommy John surgery, and not everyone comes back where your arm just bounces back immediately. There are varying timelines for every pitcher.
And part of the vortex of his opponents this year, we get a challenge. Marlins have been very aggressive and successful. ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile. He entered today with 7 successful challenges, third most among backstops.
Well, this is a dart on the outside corner. That pitch is at 99, but you see how much the ball comes back right at the last second. Just enough to shave that outside corner.
That's a money pitch. Spencer Steer 0 for 3, did line out yesterday. He's hitting the ball hard very often. In fact, Sal Stewart leads the Reds in barrel rate. Combination of hitting it hard and at the right angle to get a hit. Spencer Steer is second best on this team, but doesn't have the hits en masse to show for it yet.
No, I think that's your goal when you come to the plate. You want to hit the ball hard, and then you just hope the hits fall because you're hitting the ball hard.
And I thought Steer was one of several Reds. You had mentioned how the ball hung a bit yesterday. I thought his liner was going to get down. I thought De La Cruz's first hit or first contact. I thought Gino Suarez and his line drive.
Tell you what, that ball has got a lot of arm side movement for Alcantara right now. That pitch has got to look like it's well off the outside corner as it comes out of his hand. And it's got some heavy duty velocity to it as well.
And that could set up his change in wizard-like fashion. There's the cutter. Sail to shallow right center. Marcy. Reds go in order.
I'm okay. T-Mobile now has the fastest 5G home internet, just $30 a month.
Here is tonight's Liberty Mutual Insurance Field coverage. Longest streaks error-free to start a year by games. The Reds have a new franchise record matching what Boston did in 18. Play error-free tonight. They would tie the Royals in 22 for second longest. The Padres own the record. Those Padres shocked the Dodgers in the playoffs, went to an LCS for the first time in over 2 decades. Otto Lopez, multiple hits in 3 straight. He was 2 for 4 last night. Curveball misses for Abbott, and you love the first pitch breaking ball from Abbott, especially to a right-handed hitter.
Yeah, that backdoor breaking ball, we saw it several times from Williamson last night. And we've seen it from Abbott plenty of times in the past, where you start that curveball off the plate, it drops to the outside corner. That's not something a hitter really wants to swing at, not on the first pitch.
2-0. Big cut at that changeup. The swing can tell you a lot, right?
That tells me that he was expecting a heater right there, and he came unglued. He knew it about 3/4 of the way through that swing, but it's too late. But that's what you're trying to do. If you're Andrew Abbott, you're trying to keep your fastball relevant for the entire time that you're out there. The way that you do that is you're getting off-speed pitches over the plate for strikes.
Sharply to short. De La Cruz off the backhand. 1 down. Now Abbott saw the Marlins once last year. Came in July in Cincinnati, and he outdueled Alcantara that day. Abbott came 1 out shy of delivering 8 innings, gave up 1 run. Alcantara was tagged with 6 runs in 5 innings and took the loss that day. Heriberto Hernandez lined to left on an 0 for 4 night yesterday. He's 3 for 27 to begin his year. One wrinkle to Abbott's season at the start that is obvious on face value, but hearing the names perhaps rings a little differently. He's the opening day guy. So particularly those first few weeks, you're going to face the other team's opening day guy. So the starter for the opponent when Abbott has pitched has been Garrett Crochet, Cy Young runner-up, Paul Skeens, reigning Cy Young, Sandy Alcantara, former Cy Young winner, who's pitching right now like this year's Cy Young.
That's part of pitching in that number one slot. You're going to, more times than not, you're going to face the other team's best, at least here in the early going, because there's not a whole lot of starts that those fellas miss.
3-1 swing, bounces it to left center. Thinking two, Hernandez turns, staggered stride, and retreats. Good recovery by the Reds outfield there.
Well, that's something to look at as the game progresses, John, and I think you hit the nail on the head. That's a ground ball up the middle, but it's in the left center field gap. So a speedy runner can take second base, maybe in a two-out spot, or gamble in that position in a two-out spot to try to get to second base, especially if these pitchers continue their path that they're on right now, and that's keeping the opponent off the board.
Connor Norby seemed loaded for a fastball, just nicks a changeup. I thought some of Abbott's best pitching on opening day against Boston came as the Red Sox were very fastball aggressive early. And at one point, he threw at least 3 straight first pitch curveballs for a strike.
When you're getting that changeup over, as Abbott did there and as Williamson did last night, that drives hitters crazy because it looks like your fastball. And let's face it, John, every hitter that comes up there is looking for a heater they can smash. Yes, occasionally you're sitting on a breaking ball in a certain count or something of that nature, but most hitters are looking for your hardest pitch.
1-2. Stevenson erupted from his crouch. He was ready to throw down. Hernandez was leaning a bit off first base.
That last pitch to me is the pitch that makes Andrew Abbott. That hard riding fastball up and away from a right-handed hitter. They just have a really hard time getting to this pitch even when they're looking for the fastball.
Runner goes. This is top to third. Only play is at first. Hayes makes it. He has such a smooth internal clock. He still looked at Hernandez just in case he went wide around that bag and to keep him there.
Well, part of that too is coming after the ball aggressively, but yet in control. And you play a defensive position as well as Ke'Bryan Hayes does. You just have that ability to slow the game down a bit in your head.
First pitch, Xavier Edwards, routine of McLean, end of inning.
Intuit TurboTax. Don't wait. File by 4/15.
Join the Reds Saturday, April 25th. Fans in attendance receive a 2026 Hall of Fame induction fleece blanket thanks to PNC. While supplies last, get tickets now. Reds.com/tickets. Scoreless game. Bottom third, 2 up for the Redlegs. Tyler Stevenson homered again yesterday. He has 2 on the road trip. Elevated strike. Alcantara, a 2-time All-Star. He took the Cy Young in 2022 when he led baseball with 6 complete games. His last start was the first complete game of this season. The number of CGs has plummeted over the years. Last year, there were 29 total complete games, and 3 of them came with well less than 8 innings. Nick Lodolo was one of them, including his counterpart in a rain-shortened game that failed to go 7. Alcantara thought he might have had him. Marlins entered this series with the second most successful challenges from their battery. Strike 3. So over the last 5 years, here's the leaderboard for complete games. The Phillies have 11. Alcantara is tied with the Astros by himself with 10. And he missed all of 24 with Tommy John. Great job, producer Josh Hall. Well, it's been a first pitch strike to all 8 men so far. 0-1 on Noel V. Marte.
Well, what Alcantara is doing with that first pitch is he's starting it off the outside corner and he's bringing it back maybe an inch or 2 on the plate as the ball comes back to the edge, and then following it with that pitch, the cutter.
Marte running hard, but that's a 2-pitch out. And of course, if you're going to offer a CG, being efficient is part of it. In that 9-inning affair last time out, his first 2 outs came on 2 pitches. His 8th inning was a 3-pitch inning that allowed him to go out for the night.
Well, what he's doing is pounding the strike zone early in the ball game. That way, as he loses a bit of control with fatigue as the game progresses, hitters become a little more aggressive. They start to try to chase out there and maybe swing at pitches that are an inch off the outside corner or borderline pitch.
D. Brian Hayes, first pitch popped up. Sanoja the call. A 1-pitch out. A brutally efficient inning. Alcantara is cooking. Have shown advanced maturity and feel. Brett Lauder delivering non-fastballs and fastball counts. The finesse power of Chase Burns and the cool feel of Brandon Williamson. And today, after the stage set by those younger, less experienced arms, last year's All-Star, the ace of these Reds, Andrew Abbott, fires in a strike. Leo Jimenez, who was DFA'd by Toronto in the later stage of March. Next day, he was traded to the Marlins. It's been a pretty healthy mix from Abbott in terms of pitch time. Off the end of the bat, McLean. Away.
I think what we're seeing from Abbott here in the early going is more changeups, less curveballs. He's still throwing his curveball, but as far as the percentages would be concerned, he's using more changeups, and that in turn makes his fastball look like it has a little more hop.
Javier Sanoja, 0 for 3 yesterday, was robbed by Key Brian Hayes on a ground ball in the 3rd.
That's the pitch I was talking about that I think Abbott could throw all day, every day. And for strike 1, you don't want to throw it there as you get deeper into the count, but for strike 1, that's a heck of a pitch. And then he goes back to the changeup there. That expanded the plate a good 6 inches. And that's because that's where the curveball started. It started out there, came back to the plate. Changeup starts on the outside edge, and it's going the other way.
A philosophy you talk about a lot, Cowboy, is making an X What are you seeing tonight in these two hurlers, and how is that throwing off the bats of both teams?
Well, I think you make a ball look like you make a strike look like a ball, which is what we're seeing with Abbott's curveball starting off the outside corner and coming back. Same thing for Alcantara. He's doing that with the fastball, starting the fastball off the outside corner and bringing it back. It looks like a ball, and you take it. Then he's starting a pitch that looks like a strike in the middle of the plate, Alcantara, and cutting it off. And what Abbott's doing is he's starting his changeup on the plate. It looks like a strike, and he's fading it off the plate. So in turn, one pitch is coming back, one pitch is going away, but they're going in the same direction, or they're going in opposite directions on the same corner. I mean, it's just pitching. It's pitching in a different way, but you're trying to make two pitches look the same, and they go in opposite directions.
Payoff pitch. Chopped up the middle. McLean to his right. High hop handles.
Well, I really like watching McLean on a play like that, because not only does he get to the ball quickly, but watch how quick his hands are once he catches the ball. It looks like he's turning a double play there at second. It's not a double play, but that's how he reads it because of the speed of the base runner. That's about as solid of a throw as you can make for a hurry play.
Now the start of second time through for Abbott. Strike one on Slater. So at this stage of the game, only one Marlin has left the infield against Abbott. The Hernandez single. That's it. Yeah, I think, Cowboy, of the pitching overlays that Pitching Ninja uses a lot on social. He had one on Chase Burns from his last start that looked wicked.
Yeah, we talk about tunneling, where pitches look exactly the same coming out of the hand. They're headed in the same direction, and then they just look like a spider. They spread as they get to the plate. Because what you're trying to do from a pitching standpoint is make all three pitches look like your fastball. You want the hitter to gear up, look like a fastball, and then in that last 3 to 4 feet, it changes direction and begins to fade or curve or slide.
Coming after these hitters like a spider monkey. 2 strikeouts for Abbott. If you love pitching, this is a game for you. No red has reached yet against Sandy Alcantara. TJ Friedel got a bunt base hit among his 2 knocks last night. Alcantara coming off an 8-pitch inning. Friedel fly to left on a broken bat his first time. Top to first. Corby. Join the Reds for Budweiser 3-2-1 Tuesdays. At every Tuesday home game, you can enjoy select $3 beers, $2 hot dogs, $1 ice cream cups. Get tickets now, Reds.com/Tuesday. For some reason, the video board has been frozen on an 0-2 count and 2 outs.
Must be that smoke.
Yeah, I think it invaded that video board. McLean is grounded out. The hitter is always supposed to be in that moment. That count.
This stadium does look like an alien spacecraft.
Mashed potatoes from the dining area and start making our own version. A little Richard Dreyfuss. Timeout called by McLean. truth is in here. Oh, 2. But I wonder, Cowboy, if they don't fix it, if it stays that way, could someone on either team at some point lose track of count or outs?
Of course they would.
By going by that
there's
board?
No doubt.
It's been saying that since last half inning.
Many times in my career, I would lose your mindset of where the count was. You turn around to look at the scoreboard.
Pop to third. Now, there was an alien look before the game. That's not the sorceress from He-Man. This is a Cirque du Soleil first pitch. They looked like chickens who had gone to the club. We saw them before they got out on the field. It's a fever dream with Billy the Marlin out there. Strike one on De La Cruz, who has grounded to the pitcher.
I got something for that chicken. Charcoal.
Grounded to third. Tougher play, Sanoa. It's one of the better batted balls the Reds have had. We'll see how battered the chicken can get when Cowboy gets cooking.
I know many fans have noticed that players have flashier belts nowadays, including the dude on the mound. We've seen the stars and stripes at home, and these are hand-painted by Pioneer belts. On the right, he's now featuring road belts. The Stars and Stripes is home belt. On the road, he's got a few different ones, and one of them plays off of his nickname, the Rocket. Luke Maile gave him the nickname his rookie year. He used to fly out, Andrew, early ahead of the team, either fly to a road city or fly home to get ready for his start. Roger Clemens, the Rocket, used to do that all the time, and Maile, poking fun at the rookie, started calling him the Rocket. Somehow it stuck. He is the Rocket. Andrew Abbott and his belts will feature that.
That's pretty good company. I like those belts, too. You know you've made it. Got your own name on your big league belt.
Now, would it be Brantley or Cowboy on your belt, Jeff?
I don't really know. Those leather belts did not suit me well. They were rather restrictive. Maybe it was just my boiler.
I think we just had our first confusion about the countdown there, Cowboy. That is crushed to left field. Off the glove of a leaping Spencer Steer. Ramirez can run, and he's in a second standing. A two-bagger for the backstop.
Well, you can see Ramirez round first. He almost ran into the back of Sal Stewart. That is just a laser shot right over the top of your head. You're trying to do everything you can to get back and leap. Tough play for Spencer Steer.
That was 113 off the bat.
That was smoke.
But right before that pitch, there seemed to be confusion about batter, catcher, and the Marlin dugout, because the ball strikeouts that had been frozen, 0-2, 2 outs, is now blank. It was blanked before the half inning began. So how long would it take? Took one more hitter. Bunt dropped down. Hayes darts in. Bare hand. Not in time. Abbott went for the ball, and that slowed the stride of the charging Hayes. Ramirez has third, and Marcy has a bunt base hit.
Yeah, I don't know that Abbott is able to make this play. I think the only guy that could have made it was Ke'Bryan Hayes, but you're right, John. I think there was a little bit of stutter step there as Hayes tried to avoid Abbott, and it kind of took his momentum away.
So at a flash, it's first and third, nobody out. Otto Lopez is grounded out to short. where a strikeout or something on the infield would be welcome. Ramirez on a traditional ground ball double play might have the hops and read to break and score. Because it's Alcantara and he has been so brutally efficient, do you think a little more about coming home?
Well, I think at this point, with nobody out, that runner at third base, you almost have to say that runner's going to get there.
Runner off from first. Throw goes down to second, and a steal of second base by Marcy.
I think at that point, prior to the stolen base, you're playing for a double play. You give up a run to get two. Because of the way that Alcantara is throwing, you're trying to keep the game as manageable as possible. And you're getting to a point now where you're one pitch away from the bases being loaded, nobody out.
3-0. Lopez swings, grounds it to McLean. Later break Ramirez. Throw goes to first. Both men advance. RBI ground out for Lopez. Ramirez scores. Marcy to third with one out. So now the Reds bring the infield in. Heriberto Hernandez singled in the second, just his fourth hit on the young year. One and one. Grounded left side, stopped by Hayes. Play is at first. One scores. But he retires the batter runner. So Reds down 2-0, but two down and the base is clear.
And no real chance for Hayes to pop up and throw the ball to the plate. Not after diving towards second base. The runner was moving on contact. Hayes did kind of check him out of the corner of his eye, but there was really no chance at home on that play.
So they got the outs right, but the score now says 1-0 on the board. It is 2-0. Connor Norby tops softly.
Let it roll foul.
It hits the bag fair.
Wow.
Base hit Norby.
I thought Hayes made the right decision. I don't think he was going to get Norby had he tried to field that ball on the line. Looked like it was going to roll foul as it came down, but that's artificial turf. Almost looked like it came back as it approached the line, rolled back into the fair territory. That ball was spinning towards foul territory, but you see it just kind of stop.
Yep.
Roll back towards the fair part of the bag.
Yeah, because it went from grass to right near the chalk.
Yeah, normally on grass that ball rolls foul, but you can rest assured that the Marlins know exactly how that line will go because they're rolling balls down the line back during batting practice on the first day.
Right turn at Albuquerque means another base runner. Xavier Edwards on one pitch grounded out to second, his first time.
Used to see that all the time, John. Guys that were great bunters, they would come out really early before anybody was on the field, and they would roll balls down the line to see exactly how far, what kind of leeway they had on each line, which way the ball was going to break as it caught dirt. Well, we know here in Florida that the ball is going to stay fair if it comes down the dirt line, even coming off the grass.
Baseball caddy. Elevated miss, 2-0.
Remember Brett Butler used to do that all the time. I'm like, what are you doing? He said, I'm seeing if the ball's going to roll foul. I'm like, oh, well, which way is it going?
That sailed to center. Marte the call. Only one piece of hard contact, but a couple of runs for the Fish. At each and every home game, if a Red hits the Toyota Hit and Win sign, one lucky fan wins a new built-in-the-USA Toyota Tundra. Register for the Tundra Home Run Challenge and your chance at any Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Toyota dealer. Well, Cowboy, that is the first time that Alcantara has not delivered a first pitch strike tonight.
And he didn't miss by much.
He entered the inning 32 pitches to set down the first 12 men. That's barely more than 2.5 pitches per batter.
I don't think he's very happy about being 2-0 here.
Stewart is fly to right. Reds shut out the Marlins by this score, 2-0 last night. The only run the Reds needed came off Stewart's bat. RBI hit in the fourth. Ground ball is through. The first Red to reach tonight. Miami's own Sal Stewart.
That's just a nice piece of hitting. Tell you, this kid just continues to surprise you at every turn. Cutter away, stays right on the outside corner. It's pretty much textbook how you hit that pitch.
Sal had said before the game yesterday he expected about 150 to 175 people. But then, Jim Day, you spoke with Sal Sr., and he told you there were like 300?
It seemed like 300 up there. And you want to talk about a spirited group of people and a fun group of people. I love every time I'm around them. There he is. Holding court.
And Pop's got emotional again with Jim yesterday, which I just love. I love that he's so honest in that moment. I mean, they came here so many times when Sal was a kid. He shared that Sal, at 12 years old, was in a home run derby in this ballpark. And Eugenio Suarez has struck out looking so far. Jammed pop. Edwards lets it drop. Take the trade. Get the force at second. That's a savvy move. Stewart had a steal in the game last night. So they're going to trade the slower Gino Suarez for Sal Stewart. Edwards was a Gold Glove finalist at second base last year. He had switched from shortstop the third week of May. Strike one to Spencer Steer, who is fly to center. Turned on early. That's hit well, but foul. Alcantara in his complete game last time out got a lot of swing and miss on the changeup, but today it seems like the fastball has been a dominant, deceptive pitch.
Yeah, the fastball, at least here in the early going, he has just absolutely littered that outside corner, the very bottom of the outside corner, with comeback fastballs for strikes.
Foul tip, strike three. Third strikeout for Alcantara.
Change up. This starts as a strike. If you're thinking fastball, you're looking out there, and you can really see the fingers roll over the top of it from Alcantara and drive that ball down. He starts that ball up around mid-thigh from the eye set of the hitter. and then it just drops down below the knees.
Tyler Stevenson struck out swinging his first time. Alcantara trying to put a bow on his 21st inning of the year. He has not yet allowed an earned run. He has not yet allowed an extra base hit. And it's in such contrast to how inconsistent his command was, not by wide margins, and how hittable he was for stretches for over 20 starts last year.
And that pitch there might be the first non-competitive pitch he's thrown. That pitch started off the plate and ended up over in the left-handed hitter's batter's box.
Two-two. Right by him.
There's that comeback heater right on the money.
Reds down a couple here at Lone Depot Park, just about 20 minutes southwest of here, the University of Miami's baseball ballpark, Alex Rodriguez Park at Mark Light Field, famous not just for its collegiate baseball and on-field success, but perhaps the most dynamite dessert in college baseball. We got to spend some time at Mark Light Milkshakes with longtime owner-operator Mitch Friedman. Over 4 decades of deliciousness. I had the cafecito made in honor of Mario Cristobal, coffee ice cream with espresso flavoring, chocolate sprinkles. Cowboy, it was magnificent.
Pretty good.
Kind thanks for having us. Jimenez, backhand De La Cruz, long throw. Got him!
A nice job by Ellie. It was a two-hopper to first, but that ball had some hair on it coming out of the arm of Ellie De La Cruz. He made it easy. First baseman Sal Stewart with that throw. Got rid of it quickly. Now, 2 years ago, Ellie would have tried to throw that ball all the way to first as hard as he could throw it.
And more awareness and maturity.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a great play and great awareness by Ellie. Because in order to throw it all the way in the air, you've got to take a little more time to get your feet set, and he didn't have the time to get them set. He just had to get rid of it. And his arm is strong enough to be able to make that two-hop throw. That's a nice play.
Sanoha grounded out to second his first time. 2-0.
It's not like this ball is a candy hop. He had to go get it. You can see a little bit of throwing arm down to grab his balance, but he made it easy on Stewart with that two-hop throw. And you're on turf, so you really don't lose much as far as velocity coming across the diamond, even though the ball hopped twice. But that was on purpose, not by mistake.
Reds defense trying to aid Andrew Abbott. Sanoha will be forever tied to a Red in one of their shared biggest moments of their baseball lives. Top softly to short. De La Cruz darting in on the run. A little late infield hit. He had a slight hiccup trying to transfer that baseball.
I think with the speed of Sanoha, even no matter what Ellie does here because of that high second hop, I don't know that he's going to get him.
It's yet another infield hit. Well, Sanoha made his noise in the World Baseball Classic. Austin Slater stands in. First pitch, twisting to right, Marte. We'll get to that in a bit. A foul fly ball out. As Sanoha came on as a pinch runner right after Team USA had rallied against Venezuela for the WBC championship and stole second base, a critical steal, because right after his swipe, Eugenio Suarez delivered what proved to be the game-winning hit in this ballpark. Augustin Ramirez has doubled and scored. And there were many that akined what Sanoha did with that steal en route to a championship to what Dave Roberts did with his steal of second for the Red Sox when they broke the curse against the Yankees in the LCS.
Get a chance, make a difference.
And of course that Boston club was skippered by Tito Francona. But Gino's hit probably doesn't score Sanoha from first base. (2-0). Get a challenge here.
The catcher is challenging the previous pitch.
See a smile there from Stevenson. Can he win a strike?
It's a good challenge. I thought that was a ball originally.
And I think an added part of the smile there for Stevenson, he and Slater briefly were teammates with the Reds. And this is Sky to right side. McLean. Don't miss a moment this season with Reds.tv. Watch on any of the channels listed on the screen or stream the entire season in Reds territory for $99.99. Watch games at home or on the go. Stay connected all year long. Subject to national exclusivities. Visit Reds.tv for details. Start streaming today. Sandy Alcantara firing a one-hitter. It's been 4 pitches or less to 14 of the first 16 men he has faced. The other 2 men saw 5 pitches, a first pitch strike to all but 1 of the hitters he has opposed.
Yeah, he is definitely ripping that outside corner, and he has stayed there consistently and with some extreme velocity.
Entering this game, only 2 Reds had homered off of him lifetime. One is Nathaniel Lowe, who's available off the bench. The other is Noelvi Marte. Grounded to third, backhanded by Sanoha. Fire. Safe.
Wow, that is big-time hustle by Marte. That's a routine ground ball to third, and Marte came out of the batter's box like he was running the 100-yard dash. If that stands, that is all hustle.
And the Marlins are not challenging. And remember, Marte had a similar bang-bang play when he grounded out to third his last time, and Sanoha had an errant throw yesterday that allowed Suarez to get on. He's normally more of a utility man pressed into everyday third base need due to the domino of injury. Connor Norby, who's at first, is usually the third baseman.
That's just big-time hustle by Marte.
Ke'Bryan Hayes has popped to third. Hard and caught. Edwards. Line drive out for Ke'Bryan Hayes.
It's the loudest contact that the Reds have had off of Alcantara here through the 5+ innings.
Well, Hayes is the Red who, by total hits, has handled Alcantara the best. He entered 357, 5 hits lifetime against him. Friedel is flied out, grounded out, trying to find a way on. Strike one. You can almost see in the body language of Sanoha, he does not want a bunt right now. That gets away from Norby. Marte had heard he plunged back into the bag head first.
Yeah, this is one of those plays that you have to know it immediately if you're Marte. Because if you pick it up once it's already gotten that far past the first baseman, no dice.
The teams ran on Alcantara a lot last year, and they were highly efficient. 0-1. Skied left side. Sanoha, the call and catch. It's hard to get men on base, period, this year against him. But last year, Cowboy, the league tried 36 steals against Alcantara, got caught once, went 35 for 36 trying to swipe. And we saw Augustine Ramirez have some trouble getting a clean throw. Reds had a delayed steal by Sal Stewart yesterday. Matt McLean is grounded out, popped out. Sanoha backs up noticeably at third base. Marte fakes. Slider strike. Hard foul just wide of third. Out in front of a changeup there.
Not too many times, especially early in the season, but not through the season at all, do you see a pitcher get 2 outs in the 5th inning and they've thrown less than 60 pitches.
Marte's off, pitch missed away, throw down, tails gets through. Marte pops up, sprints for third. Marcy from center, throw to third is laid. A steal and an error. Now the Reds have a run 90 feet away.
Well, it has been all wheels for Marte in getting to first, second, and then to third. Great jump here, great awareness to pick up the ball. Can't hesitate because Marcy's got a pretty good arm out there in center field.
Yeah, Marcy's throw was almost 94.
Sling it.
2-2. McLean bouncer, Sanoha on the run. Up the line, tag, got him.
Nick Lodolo continues his quest to get back to the mound. Earlier today, he threw lightly yesterday, much more long toss today. Terry Francona said before the game, it's possible you could see him throw a bullpen on Thursday. I talked to Lodolo. It would only be fastballs and changeups. He would not throw a slider right out of the gate. Right now, they're looking at Thursday, perhaps, on the mound.
Well, thank you, Jim. That injury report from Elk and Elk What about Caleb Ferguson? He was set to throw today too, right?
He's also progressing towards a bullpen on Thursday, so that bullpen down there before the game might be busy that day, but all signs are pointing to him being back on the mound Thursday as well.
Jim Day, our Magic 8 Ball. Marcy tops a foul. And go back to the 2-run fourth. Ramirez drilled his double that began the inning, but the other 2 hits were on the infield. One was a bunt. There wasn't that much hard contact against Abbott.
That's the problem that you have when you have a leadoff double in an inning. Some of those softer contacts can prove to be deadly.
Lined over first base hit. Brief word now from Miami Valley Gaming.
Get ready.
Otto Lopez, RBI ground out. That's when he swung 3-0 in the fourth. He's 0 for 2 in the game. First pitch, ripped to center. Friedel.
Tagging.
Friedel makes the catch, just a bluff at first. Strong throw in by TJ Friedel. But Jim Day, we did see some hard hustle from Noelvi Marte twice already, including an infield hit. He had some rather frank talks with the Reds during spring training.
Yeah, it was a few weeks into spring training where it was a wake-up call meeting, and you can call it perhaps reading the press clippings of the offseason, because everyone had him earmarked as the everyday right fielder and even batting second in the lineup. And he just was not performing, and it wasn't just in games, it was in drills as well, so they were not happy. And Terry Francona and Freddie Benavides kind of had a wake-up call meeting, like, you need to get it going. Now, he responded then, and he's responded a few times over his career, whether it be the suspension or when he was struggling at third base, they challenged him to play right field. He responded then. And with those performing well at AAA that are outfielders, he's off to a slow start. Perhaps is back against the wall again, so maybe we'll see him respond again.
He's super talented, Cowboy.
There's no doubt about it. And the Reds do need his bat in the lineup, because when he is productive, he can be one of those types of hitters that can carry you for a period of time.
Hernandez, RBI ground out and a single. 3-0. And Marte also, even when he's played well, he can peak valley a bit. He can be a hot, cold hitter. And there are a lot of good players that's what they are. Runner goes, great jump, 3-0, called a strike, trouble on the transfer, and Marcy steals second.
Yeah, I don't think that even if Stevenson gets a good hold of this ball to throw to second, that he's got a chance. It was a great jump by Marcy. And sometimes you just got to eat it.
3-1.
Good changeup.
He's had a lot of his best changeups when he's been behind in the count here tonight.
Well, that's when the hitter is looking for a fastball and trying to hit it out there off those windows in left field.
Runner goes, payoff, missed away, throw down, and a steal of third. So Hernandez walks, and Marcy claims third base. That's his third steal tonight. Terry Francona's out to speak with home plate man James Hoy. Was there obstruction from the hitter? Is he in the throwing lane there? And Stevenson did make the throw. Strike one on Norby, who has an infield hit. He's 1 for 2.
Well, both balls were pulled, and you've got Brian Hayes playing in at third base, or at least even with the bag by the time he gets set up. But you're definitely needing a double play in the worst way here.
Reds have a right-hander now warming. Abbott just south of 90 pitches in the wake of his first walk today.
There's that up and away heater again from Andrew Abbott. Tough pitch for the hitter to read. Andrew closes off a bit before he comes to the plate. I think hitters just have a tough time picking that one up.
Well, Marcy is tied his career high. He stole 3 bags game 2 of a doubleheader in Atlanta 9th of August last year.
You wonder if maybe that fastball up and in was a setup for a changeup here.
Runner off from first. Pitch missed away. Throw down. A good one. Tag. He is out. Hernandez caught stealing.
It was a changeup, but it was up and away. It allowed Stevenson an early exit from home plate out of his crouch. Go fastball in, changeup away. It's up, but it allows Stevenson to come up. So what is this?
They're sending him back out there. Terry Francona's out to question what's going on. Sean Barber, our second base umpire. Was he blocking the bag?
I did not think so. I thought he was on the pitching mound side of second base.
That's DJ Rayburn, the first base umpire. That is a point of emphasis and has been for a couple of years to try to help the run game, that you cannot block the bag. It's that left cleat. And remember, the Reds were a victim to that. That was against the Padres when Mike Schilt was still managing there. They dropped the knee and had the leg in front of the bag. So the out's gone, the runner's back, infield in, second and third now. Wow. They'll take away the caught stealing. And that pitch is up and away. The bases are loaded, and that changes things dramatically.
Abbott is probably out of this ball game. Of course, I'm sure Francona is trying to check with his folks to see, all right, which way do we want to go after Edwards?
Well, Xavier Edwards due up. Reds had a right-hander just get up. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change. So Andrew Abbott has not allowed much in the way of hard contact on the game, but he is yanked in the 6th. Bases loaded, 1 out. Reds down a couple of runs, a pitching change. Now Pierce Johnson gets the call. Andrew Abbott is not happy. Well, a consequence of the somewhat controversial interference call, the Reds had their first charged error of the year. McLean's foot being in front of the bag was deemed to be interference. The original call was caught stealing, but interference was called. That goes down as an E4. Bases loaded. Reds down 2. Pierce Johnson against Xavier Edwards. Last time we saw Johnson, Cowboy, it was his first action in 4 days, and he got his biggest strikeout as a Red.
Well, he's going to need one of those right here. Either that or a double play ball right at somebody.
That's when he pitched behind Chase Burns in Texas. Edwards has been aggressive tonight, a 1 pitch out. He's also flied to right along with a ground ball to second. He lost a career-high tying 12-game hit streak yesterday. Had been the best active in the majors.
Well, this is also a spot for Tyler Stevenson where he's just got to be a huge backstop back there in case of the breaking ball into the dirt, looking for that strikeout.
Grounded to first. Flip comes home for a force. That's what they'll get. They cut down the lead runner. So Marcy out on the force at the plate. Reed Rackham loaded with 2 down. And it looks like we'll get a pinch hitter here. Liam Hicks to stand in for the DH, Leo Jimenez. You know, Hicks plays multiple spots, including catching. He's not a very good defender, but he's a very talented hitter. He pinch hit and flied out in the 8th inning yesterday. Off to a .320 start with 3 home runs. For the Reds to have a shot to come back on Sandy Alcantara and win this game, Pierce Johnson looking for a huge 3rd out this inning. Strike 1. Fouled away.
Well, Johnson has done exactly what you've got to do coming out of the bullpen in this kind of spot, and that's getting ahead quickly. He was ahead of Edwards 0-2. He's ahead of Hicks here 0-2. Now you got to put the final piece to the puzzle.
Johnson's patented pitch, period, not just as a finisher, is that biting curveball that if you work it in the dirt, Stevenson's got a block. A lot of room behind home plate here. Time called by the batter Hicks. Heriberto Hernandez, that lead runner.
There it
That's
is.
lost by Stevenson. And he tags the batter alertly. That completes the putout. So Abbott's line preserved as Johnson leaves him loaded. Two-hitter in progress for Sandy Alcantara. How's he done it? StatCast 3D, Google Cloud.
Well, he has done it by putting the ball on the plate. Amazing that he has been able to dot that outside corner or in if it's Ellie De La Cruz for so long here tonight. The Reds' best contact actually came in the 6th inning, starting in the bottom of the order.
De La Cruz is grounded out twice.
You know, if you can get Ellie on board here, it creates not only a bit of panic on the side of the Marlins, but it creates a bit of momentum in that Reds dugout just simply because what Ellie can do on the base paths. So it creates an upbeat atmosphere if you're in that first base dugout.
Got to be taken here, 3-0. No walks drawn by the Reds yet tonight. Only 2 doled out by Alcantara on the season. And there is a third. So there you go, Cowboy. You asked for it. A tone-setting leadoff walk. by the stolen base artist, Ellie De La Cruz.
And I think this is a spot where you try to run Ellie here simply to create some havoc on the base pass and kind of take Agustin Ramirez out of his game, and hopefully he'll take Alcantara with him. I'm sure Alcantara's thinking the same thing, a quick pick to first. And it may not be on the first pitch. You give Sal Stewart a chance to do some damage.
Stewart singled his last time, one of the Reds' 2 hits. And Terry Francona has talked about it. He mentioned it last night after the game, that Ellie's probably going to lose some steals this year because Sal's going to be swinging away. And he said, yeah, at some point, probably going to hit into a double play. But more good than bad is going to happen with how Sal can handle the bat and igniting De La Cruz. We have seen De La Cruz score from first because of that multiple times already.
Yeah, I'm sold on having Sal Stewart hitting right where he's hitting. The part that you just absolutely love from a Red standpoint is the high-end competitor that Sal Stewart is in the batter's box. I mean, he's talking, he is fighting for it. He reminds me of a former teammate of mine, Will Clark. Very braggadocio, very confident in himself, and he ain't worried about anybody. He's just trying to do his job.
Strikes out. That's a 5th strikeout for Alcantara tonight.
Look, all you can do is come to the ballpark and try to beat the opponent, especially as a rookie player trying to figure this thing out.
Eugenio Suarez has struck out looking. First pitch flare floats to the waiting glove of Xavier Edwards. Brief word now from Kia Telluride. Spencer Steer has flied to center. He has struck out swinging. This will be Alcantara's 70th pitch, trying to put a bow on the 7th inning. At this rate, he's got a really good shot to go 9 again. Reds had Jose Franco warming. Now Graham Ashcraft is up. Looks like double barrel for the Redlegs. Throw down, dangerous, and a leaping Norby saves that ball from sailing to right. That could have gifted De La Cruz third base.
At least.
Keep in mind that's the usual third baseman playing first. Steer, high fly, deep left. Hernandez has it. Reds haven't left the infield much tonight. They lead their leadoff walk. Be a GABP Saturday. Fans in attendance receive a Noelvi Marte season-saving bobblehead featuring the right fielder making his game-winning catch at the wall. Thanks to Jeff Weiler Automotive Family. While supplies last, visit Reds.com/tickets. Well, Reds had both Graham Ashcraft and Jose Franco warming. Noelvi Marte and company will be backing up Jose Franco, who's in with the Reds still down 2. Skyline Chili called to the bullpen.
I think in that instance you've got Ashcraft up in case somebody catches one. You tie the ball game. You bring in Ashcraft. If you stay down, you get the youngster Jose Franco.
First pitch in there for a strike. Griffin Conine is on deck to pinch hit for Austin Slater.
I like this kid. Obviously, you have to learn a few things about hitters up here. You can only learn it by seeing them and facing them and being in these ballparks. But if Jose Franco is nervous, you wouldn't know it by his body action.
Oh-2. Grounded to third, Hayes. And in many ways, Cowboy, it's a good problem to have. Franco was the later add as a long guy for the Reds, built up to start. He hasn't pitched in a long time, and that's because the Reds have won 4 consecutive games.
But you would also know by just the execution of those breaking balls, 2 on the outside corner, 1 down around the ankles, and you get the weak ground ball to third, that he's not been sitting out there just wondering why I'm not pitching. He's been working on his craft.
First action this series for Conine, and yes, he is the son of Marlins legend Jeff Conine, man known as Mr. Marlin.
Mr. Marlin.
Played his college ball at Duke. He was drafted by the Blue Jays. Got traded in 2020 to his pop's team, and with Kyle Stowers out with a hamstring injury, ABS challenge here, Conine playing a little bit more. Stevenson has won it. 2 wins for the Reds backstop.
Well, that's a pretty good changeup right there. That got to the plate, just took a right turn. Oh, man, that's good.
Time for Conine. You don't see flailing swings from big league hitters often.
Anytime you get a swing and the hitter looks back like, what was that? Pretty nasty.
One, two. Looking.
Well, you throw a changeup, you make the hitter question what it was, and then you paralyze him on the inside corner while he's still thinking about it. Now, by what we've seen from Jose Franco, this is only his 2nd major league ball game. Would you know that he's had 5-6 days off?
No.
No, nobody would. And that just tells me something about this kid.
Hit 0-1 on Ramirez, who has doubled and scored. Consecutive sliders, and he gets a pop to Stewart. Foul ground, has it into the netting. Oh, 1-2-3 inning for Jose Franco. Reds looking for runs. Again. Toyota game summary. Andrew Abbott pitched into the 6th, gave up just a couple of runs. Marcy, couple of hits, a run scored, has tied his career high with 3 steals. The story's been Sandy Alcantara, who since he won the Cy Young in 2022, entered tonight having thrown 7 or more innings, 3 straight starts, only once. He has done it in his first 3 starts this season.
Yeah, well, he has been in total control here tonight. And there's never been an overthrow. It seems like every pitch has had a purpose. Location has been great. Never gotten out of his mechanics from pitch number 1. And he's used 4 different pitches. Fastball cutter early, used the changeup and a bigger breaking ball as the game went on. But the location is just ridiculously wicked.
He has struck out Stevenson twice. Conine stays in the game at right. Straight switch for Slater. 75th pitch. A big part of how he delivered to Maddox, a complete game of less than 100 pitches last time out. He had a 3-pitch 8th inning.
And it's not just the swing and miss or the decelerated contact. It's the command and control and just emotional precision.
He went. Appeal confirms. He's just been overwhelmingly excellent.
Change up, and you look at that changeup. That starts mask height from the catcher, and you see where Ramirez caught that ball.
First pitch, Marte to second, hustling hard. 2 down.
You know, and you hear the stories early going in the first 2 starts that Alcantara is back. Well, you want to see it to believe it. He's back.
One of the 2 Reds to lifetime homer off him stands in now. Nathaniel Lowe pinch hits for Key Bryant Hayes. And the Marlins now have action in their bullpen as well. Andrew Nardi is up. Strike 1. Two and one. Full count. It's only a 2-run game. TJ Friedel on deck. Payoff. Chopped by Lowe. Lopez. Reds in order. Nathaniel Lowe stays in the game for the Reds. He is now at first base, which means Miami's own Sal Stewart is now at his more native third. He is shallow. Franco to Marcy, misses wide. Marcy, couple of hits, including a bunt base knock, has scored a run, has stolen 3 bags. Stewart last year got 4 starts at third. He's played 33 innings at third in the big league so far. Popped up. Stewart. No play. Alcantara has been incredibly pitch efficient. He's still at only 83 pitches. But the Marlins closer, Pete Fairbanks, on the paternity list. At last check, Andrew Nardi was up in the bullpen, who has 3 career saves, and they came several years ago. Bounces home. Reds go left-right switch, top of the order, Friedel, McLean, De La Cruz. And the Reds had entered 7-0 in games decided by 2 runs or less. They're right now on the wrong side of their first loss in that category if this score holds. Upstairs. Leadoff walk, 3rd time aboard today for Marcy. Tomorrow, Brady Singer gets the ball. He'll take on Yuri Perez. Another tall, at times dominant pitcher who can be run on and has had a major arm injury. See what Singer has in store. Start number 3. Stewart backs up. Up and in on Otto Lopez. RBI ground out. He is 0 for 3 tonight.
You almost have to expect Marcy to run here, at least prepare for it mentally.
And they already have the lead. He's got 3 swipes tonight. Just 1 extra run could be a big deal. The end of the bat, foul, backing out of play. Topped foul. The Reds offense has been held to 3 runs or less 8 times in their first 10 games. They have only been blanked once. That was opening day by Boston. Part of the separation late came on a major challenge by Roman Anthony. Looked like Connor Phillips had gotten out of a jam. Boston added some runs late. Up and in, got the bat. It's a foul ball called at the plate by Hoy. I got Stevenson too.
Yeah, the Reds have gotten their leadoff batter aboard each of the last 3 innings. You say, well, so what? They're still getting shut out. Well, you get your leadoff batter aboard in the top of the 9th, 1 swing to tie the ball game the way we stand right now. That's why that runner at first base proves to be a big deal.
And while Alcantara has still not allowed extra bags this year, he gave up 22 homers each of his last 2 seasons. Time for the batter.
I mean, the deeper you go in the pitch count, normally you would say that's when a pitcher has more, he's more apt to make a mistake at that point. Of course, the way Alcantara's pitched tonight, I don't know.
Foul tip, strike 3.
Nice battle for the kid Franco. He had to work to get that one.
Roberto Hernandez, base hit, a walk, RBI ground out. Alicia's first pitch. Friedel deep gap.
Tagging.
Throw goes to second. With the tag, reaching, De La Cruz safe. Sean Barber loaded up to punch him out for a double play, and then gave the safe sign.
That was a great lunge by Ellie. The throw was towards the right field line, tailing away from second base. Ellie is probably the only one that could even make this close.
Reds are challenging.
I don't think the Reds are going to win this. Yeah, maybe.
When does the tag come?
It's just hard to see when he got him. He tagged him up in the armpit. But you couldn't really tell exactly when that foot actually hit the bag. From that angle, it looks like he's definitely safe. I mean, there's no chance for Ellie to be able to hold the tag on him because he had to dive backwards in lunging fashion just to try to get to him. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a real tough one.
You probably almost need the side-by-side, right, to know at what frame is the glove seemingly contacting the runner and where is the foot in relation to the bag at that moment.
I mean, look at Ellie. He is parallel with the ground as he makes the tag on Marcy.
Here we go.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner safe. Cincinnati will lose their turn.
So Marcy tags up on the fly ball out. 2 down. He's in scoring position for Connor Norby. It's a big run at second base. It appears the Marlins have changed their man in the bullpen. Anthony Bender, who the Reds saw a decent amount last year, is now up.
I don't care if it's Mariano Rivera. It's better than what we've seen through the first 8 innings of the ball game.
1-1. Norby, an infield hit, a walk. He is grounded out to third. Nice pick by Stevenson.
Stay alive if you're Sal Stewart over there. He's new at third here in this inning. Norby pulls the ball hard.
Consecutive pitches well off the plate away, speared by Stevenson. Jammed foul. Runner off. Good jump, and the pitch missed. Take a third there by Marcy. So Norby aboard. Second walk on the inning for Franco. Now men at the corners for Edwards, who's reached on fielder's choice. He's 0 for 3. Credit a steal for Marcy. First pitch up the middle. De La Cruz. Scoreless inning. Top of the order. due up for the Reds. Can they scoreboard? We go to the ninth. Into Miami. Sandy Alcantara has been special, seeking a second straight Maddox, a CG sub 100 pitches. He's at 83 pitches tonight. And it's a first pitch strike to TJ Friedel, who is 0 for 3. Graham Pauley is into the game. He plays shallow at third. Sanoja has gone to left. Looks like Hernandez is out of the game. And Sanoja, utility man. One down. The crowd roared as Alcantara came up out of the dugout. He made mention of the absence of the fans after his outstanding start last time out, but said he still had love for them. Cowboy, this is special, what he has done tonight.
The location with that kind of velocity, I mean, that's why you're getting what you're getting. I mean, he has moved the ball around like just precision.
Can the Reds get a man on? If McLean can reach, De La Cruz, who has doubled twice lifetime off Alcantara, is on deck. 2-1. McLean has not left the infield tonight. A bounce to short. He's popped to third. He is grounded to third. Paulie backs up at third. Foul ball. He'll need a moment. Two. That's over third. That's a fair ball, base hit. Green light for second. McLean sprints in standing with a double. The tying run will come to the plate. That's the first extra base hit Alcantara has allowed all season.
Looping a blast, and you've got the perfect scenario for the Reds in someone that could give you a blast right now.
Ellie De La Cruz walked his last time. He has doubled twice lifetime off Alcantara.
And that was a changeup that McLean hit down the left field line.
De La Cruz leads these Reds with 3 homers this season. The Marlins have had both Nardi and Bender warming. It looks like Bender is up and throwing again. Reds have action in their pen just in case.
Last time up for Ellie, Alcantara pitched him really tight, very similar to what we're seeing here in this at bat. He ultimately ended up walking De La Cruz to lead off the 7th.
Entering this series, this ballpark is where Ellie De La Cruz has hit best on his career. Taking all the way, strike 1. He entered this series hitting .467 at Lone Depot. 2-1. First base open. How careful is Alcantara? Sal Stewart, who has shined this series back in his hometown. The Red Star rookie is on deck. Not close. And now the tying runs are on. Stewart will come to the plate as the go-ahead run.
Well, this is the best case scenario for the Reds to be able to have the speed that you have on the base paths right now with De La Cruz and Matt McLean. I can't believe he's taking him out.
Under a chorus of boos at 95 pitches, Clayton McCullough says, "I want the ball." He's going to his pen. The Reds have chased Alcantara, who leaves to an ovation. He was magnificent. He's responsible for those runners. Dominated the Reds for 8 1/3. They're into the pen. The Reds have chased Sandy Alcantara. Double Matt McLain, walk Ellie De La Cruz. Getting 3 hit, they'll take on Anthony Bender for the Marlins bullpen, and Bender himself walks have been an issue. Sal Stewart has singled tonight. See a lot of that from Bender.
A lot of breaking balls.
The batter is challenging the pitch.
Not a bad challenge. You're in the 9th. For a 9th inning with 2 challenges, you should use it on anything close. Double steal is on. Pitch called a strike. No throw. McLain and De La Cruz take 3rd and 2nd. The tying runs in scoring position.
Never looked at either of them. Just came to the set, threw to the plate. McLain says, "If you're not going to look at me, I'm running."
A base hit, and the Miami man could deadlock it. 2-1.
And the thing about this, when you're not used to being the closer, and as the inning builds, if the Reds can do that, the more times that Bender is out of the strike, pressure comes to him.
Strike. This would normally be Pete Fairbanks. He is on paternity leave. So Bender filling in here, which he's done in the past. He does have saves on his career. Giant spot. 2-2. Jump foul. Bender had 4 saves last year. He's got 15 lifetime. Tommy John guy who had a stress reaction in his tibia that curtailed his season in August of last year.
Well, he got Stewart out in front on that sinker. May come back with that frisbee slider right here running away from him.
2-2. Stewart swings, loops it into right center. Outfielders converge. It's handled in right by Conine. Runners tag, and the Reds are on the board. Sac fly, RBI. McLain scores. De La Cruz to 3rd. The Reds will not be shut out tonight. It's 2-1. Tying run 90 feet away with 2 down.
It was a breaking ball. It started in and broke back to the inside corner.
Eugenio Suarez has reached on fielder's choice. He's 0 for 3. Slider misses. Suarez 0 for 5 lifetime, 3 strikeouts against Bender. De La Cruz creeps a larger lead. Ramirez does not block the plate well. We've got a breaking ball heavy pitcher. Augustin Ramirez led the majors with 19 pass balls last year. There's now a lefty up in the Marlins pen. They had Nardi warming earlier. Big lead for De La Cruz. Paulie plays deep at 3rd. Three and 1. Ball 4, Suarez walks.
They're challenging that one.
And might as well. They have their full complement. Ramirez has been money on hit. Just barely nicked the zone. Where Suarez was a hero in the WBC. Giant lead for De La Cruz. There's ball 4. Suarez is on. Will Benson up the steps to run for it.
It's that sweeper. It starts on the plate and takes off. That's a great take by Suarez. I don't know how he took it, but he did. As far as a breaking ball hitter, Spencer Steer may be the best that the Reds have in their lineup.
First and third. Steer is 0 for 3 tonight. That bounces. A break for home. The shovel. He saved. De La Cruz scores. The Reds have tied it, and Benson takes second.
Boy, Ellie was looking for the downward angle of the pitch the entire time after he got to third base. There was no hesitation, and there was no chance to get him. Watch De La Cruz. In the dirt, here I come.
A catcher that doesn't block well. De La Cruz alertly darts home and deadlocks it. Now the go-ahead run, Benson in scoring position. The Reds are 0 for 1 men in scoring position tonight. They have struggled mightily on their young year. This would be a prime spot for Steer and the Reds to break through. A critical wild pitch by Bender. One way outside. Nardi is indeed up. The right-handed bat of Stevenson on deck. Big berth for Benson off second. That hangs, and it's shot to left early and foul.
Telling you, breaking balls down on the plate for Spencer Steer. That is right in his wheelhouse. He was all over that one, but just a tad early.
I think of the walk-off winner against the Padres off the front lip of the upper deck in extras a couple of years ago. This one popped up, but out of play back in the foul seats. Emilio Pagan is certainly ready by now for the Reds. He's been up for some time. There will be a bottom of the ninth. Will the Reds enter it with the lead? 2 in, 2 out. 2-2. Up and away, full count.
Well, the last 2 fastballs from Bender, he has pulled in that same position, way up and away. Ball not coming back to the plate. Does he come back with that breaking ball on the plate here?
He throws a lot of them. Fouled back.
He did.
Sandy Alcantara entered the inning in hot pursuit of a Maddox. He had not allowed an extra base hit on the year. A McLean double opened the door for the Reds. Payoff again. Fouled again. What an AB by Steer.
Well, the Marlins took Alcantara out of the ball game at 95 pitches, and when they did, it was instant adrenaline in that first base dugout. Wouldn't have mattered who walked out of the pen.
Ninth pitch of the AB is strike 3, immediate challenge. Steer starting his stride to first. He's dropping the bat. Bender's walking off the field. The Reds rally from down 2. They knock out Alcantara. Ellie De La Cruz flying home on a wild pitch. Even as we go bottom 9. The Reds have rallied, tied at 2, bottom 9. Emilio Pagan, who tossed a 1-2-3 ninth last night. And his skipper said after the game he thought the ball was coming out of his hand about as well as it has on the young year.
I thought he had a better drive and better release point last night that we've seen. And the ball had some hop to it.
Facing Liam Hicks, who pinch hit in the 6th and struck out.
Oh, what a comeback by the Reds. I mean, that's coming off the mat.
And you were shocked that Alcantara got lifted at 95 pitches.
And I understand it, but by taking him out of the ball game, it gave the Reds an instant rally. I mean, the double by McLean, maybe the rally was started with McLean and then walking of De La Cruz and running him out of the game. I guess that's a better way to put it. But once he left the ball game, it wouldn't have mattered who came out of the pen. The Reds were ready.
Fouled away.
Just a different look. You're not facing that same power sinker that you've seen for the first 8+ innings of the ball game. But let's don't take anything away from Alcantara. It was a masterful performance by the Marlins right-hander here tonight.
1-2. Check swing. Did he go? Yes! Strike 3. Appeal to third. Punches out Hicks.
What nice split finger here from Emilio Pagan. This pitch starts in and just dives down right on top of home plate.
Well, Jim Day, Emilio Pagan needed a video reminder of how to grip that splitter.
Yeah, it's interesting how that happens. He was pitching in Boston last year and he had a nasty splitter, and his former teammate Justin Wilson texted him and said, "Can you send me a video of your grip? That splitter was nasty." So he sent him the video, and then Pagan started having trouble with his splitter last year and just happened to be going through old videos on his phone, noticed the video and said, "Wow, my grip has changed." Got back to that grip that was on the video, and all of a sudden in LA last year, his splitter is nasty. It's the same grip that he's using right now.
Shared that story on the Jim Day podcast. You can listen to Emilio tell it. Turned on early and foul.
Well, the key to throwing that split finger, John, is making the ball feel small in your hand, because you've got your fingers split wide, and if the ball feels big like you're throwing a softball, you have a tendency to kind of drag it a little bit. You don't accelerate through the ball. If it feels small, as though you're gripping a fastball, man, you get through it in a hurry, and that ball dives when it gets to home plate.
That's exactly what he said. He said he was getting too far up the train tracks, meaning the seams.
2-1.
And we all do that, but what happens is when you're throwing it the wrong way, it feels the right way, but yet you're not getting the same reaction from the hitters.
3-1. Up and in. Calvin Fauché is warming in the Marlins pen if extras come. Winning run is on. The 1-out walk to Sanoha. Top of the order, and Conine, who pinch hit in the 7th and struck out looking. Now keep in mind with challenges, if you exhaust your challenges in 9 innings, you get a challenge for each extra inning. In extras, those extra challenges do not carry over. Early turn and allowed foul. So if the Reds exhausted their challenges, went to the 10th, they'd get a challenge. Use that or not, If they go to the 11th, they would have one challenge, and the same for every possible extra inning. If you have 2, you carry over those 2. Runner dances a bit. 1-1.
Well, Sanoha can run a little bit. You just have to wonder, how much are you a gambler if you're Clayton McCullough in that third base dugout? Do you send the runner here, try to put him in scoring position with 1 out? If he doesn't get a good jump, he could get thrown out.
Runner fakes, elevated miss. Well, he decided to fold him on his starter and lifted him in that moment. More balls than strikes for Pagan. His command looks off. It's 3-1. The only strike this at bat was a foul hit at 111 by Griffin Conine. As the Reds rallied, they lifted their best defender, Ke'Bryan Hayes, to bring in the bat of Nathaniel Lowe. That means Sal Stewart is at third base. Reaching swing. Ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Winning run is in scoring position. Derek Johnson out for a chat with the most powerful Marlins hitter due up in Augustine Ramirez. In truth, Cowboy, even though the Reds have not known a lead tonight, there's only been one batted ball by the Marlins all game hit hard. It was the double for Ramirez that began the 4th.
Yeah, this is a guy that possesses extreme power. He was on display last night when he hit that ball off the top of the bullpen wall out in right field.
His double was the spark of a 2-run 4th, the only runs allowed so far by Reds pitching. He has since popped out a couple of times. He's also struck out looking. You think there's a need to crowd him a bit, pitch him in, and see him susceptible to soft away?
Yeah. When you're coming in, you don't want to come in right on the plate, because that's a pitch that he could do damage with. You're trying to get ahead like Gon does there. Now you can get the ball and rush it back under his hands. Even if he's early or if he's on it, he's going to pull it foul. But you have the freedom to get it off the plate. You speed up the bat, then you can go back down and away with that breaking ball.
Consecutive cutters.
But if you stay away, he'll do what he just did there, or he'll take that ball and drive it to right center field if it's on the plate.
Popped up. That's out of play. Strike 2.
That pitch was actually on the plate, but it was inside. When you get a hitter, you throw a breaking ball that starts as a strike on the outside corner, and the hitter just stands there and doesn't move his hands, then he saw it pretty well.
Runners off, pitch down, double steal. Appeal no go on the check. Sanoha to third, Conine to second, 1 out. Infield has to come in.
We've seen that double steal happen twice. The Reds did it with McClain and Ellie De La Cruz. And the Marlins do it here. Now you've got to bring the infield in with a guy that can hammer it.
2-2. Struck him out.
Whole lot of difference between that breaking ball and the prior breaking ball. This one starts higher. The eyes of Agustin Ramirez get a little big. That pitch started up where he thought he could hammer it, and it took a left turn right at the last second.
Stewart remains shallow at third. Marcy has been on 3 times. 2 hits, a bunt hit. He's also walked. Picked up his 4th steal when he took third in the 8th inning, giving him a new career high. Lowe guards the line at first. One at one. If Pagan can get one more out, Fauché is warm. In the Marlins pen, he has been a strikeout machine. Elevated miss. Skied to left, Steer fading back. He'll be the Reds' free runner. We've got free baseball. A scoreless 9th from Pagan, tied at 2. We go to the 10th.
Reds come off the mat. Off to extra innings we go. The Reds are already 1-0 on this young season. This will be the Marlins' first extra innings affair.
Well, thank you, Jim. Reds have been great in tight games. Spencer Steer made the final out. In the 9th, he'll be the free runner. Tyler Stevenson will face Calvin Fauché. See those strikeout numbers. Now he does walk men, and the Reds have hit him to an over 300 average. Misses wide. Graham Ashcraft is up in the Cincinnati bullpen. Did Stevenson not have eye contact with the pitcher before he came home? He has struck out 3 times tonight. Way wide, bounces past Ramirez, and Steers got third. A crazy wild pitch. That's part of what opened the door for the Reds to tie it in the 9th.
This is over in the left-handed hitter's batter's box. That's a slider you just held on to a bit too long.
Infield in. Fly ball could mean the lead. (3-1), and it's full.
High cutter. I got to believe he's coming back with that, John.
Payoff. Way outside, Stevenson walks. Noelvi Marte has a hustle hit on the infield, one of his 2 knocks on the year. He's 1 for 3 tonight.
Well, he could play hero right here.
Check swing. That ran in. Appeal says he went. Strike 1. Up and in.
Well, he had a pitch to hit right there. That was a cutter that was just spinning in the top of the zone. Just a tad underneath it.
Infield a touch shallow.
Gotta get that slider down and away here.
Paulie plays him truest at third. Way outside with that breaking ball. I mean, these misses have been largely non-competitive. He's no stranger to bigger spots. He had 15 saves in 20 tries last year. Poked foul. This road trip has been an opportunity for some dormant bats to break out. Steers had his moment. Stevenson the same. Could tonight be the night for Noelvi Marte? Struck him out.
When you've got a guy that is predominantly slider like Fauché, once he gets to the 2-strike count, you're going to see that cutter or slider.
Nathaniel Lowe, pinch hit, grounded out to short in the 8th. Graham Ashcraft by now is ready for the Reds. John King is up in the Marlins pen. Foul to the backswing, looked like it clipped Ramirez. Yeah, right on the top of the helmet. Driven beyond short, base hit. Steers scores. They take their first lead of the night. The biggest ribby for Nathaniel Lowe as a Red. Reds ahead 3-2 in the 10th.
Can't tell you how many times over the career of Nathaniel Lowe I have seen him with 2 strikes shoot the ball the other way. They go with a backdoor breaking ball. It's great on the first pitch. It's not good after that. You could almost see the controlled swing of Nathaniel Lowe with that swing of the bat.
It looks like Dean Myers will come on a pinch run. On top of the order, TJ Friedl, who is 0 for 4 tonight. 3 of his outs in the air. Paulie cheats in at third. Strike 1.
If you go back and look at the two swings from Nathaniel Lowe, the prior swing was so big that he hit the catcher in the helmet on the follow-through. That swing was so short the bat really didn't even finish back behind his back. It was a controlled swing. Very similar to what we saw from Suarez the other day. Same with Ellie De La Cruz.
When they each knocked in single runs, Reds put 2 on the board and won the game.
Hitting adjustments when the game is on the line.
Reds have been great in close contests. Friedel fouls it away. Terry Francona's team ran into a buzzsaw of a peak revisited Sandy Alcantara. They knocked him out in the ninth. They got 2 runs in against his line. Full on Friedel. No Reds team had ever done that. Step off by Fauché. Down and in, bases loaded.
This is where the Reds need to put their foot on the accelerator and slam it to the floor, because a base hit right here can take every incentive out of these Marlins that they thought they had with Alcantara on the mound early.
Who would have said Cowboys said to gun it? Infield comes partially in. Matt McLain has doubled and scored. Ball 1. Walks have slaughtered the Marlins bullpen in the last week. Their bullpen was dynamite the first 2 series. It went off the rails with control woes against the Yankees. And walks have been key late here tonight. 1-1. Can McLain deliver a knockout blow?
I think that's a ball.
Man behind home plate thought the same, tapping his head.
I tapped my head.
No. Pitch down and away.
That's why they don't let us challenge.
All you pitchers.
I would challenge.
Pitchers have been worse at it. You're shaking your head. You would have challenged everything.
Tap my head so many times I'd have to get a new hat.
2-2. Stroked foul. Giant chance for the Reds to add on. I mean, heck, even if you can just get a fly ball here and at least get another run. Nathaniel Lowe has knocked in the go-ahead run. Stevenson, the lead runner. 2-2. Fouled again. Oh, Fauché closing in on 30 pitches.
That's a lot of pitches, even for a starter in one inning, much less someone pitching out of the bullpen.
This could benefit the Reds in the next 2 days in the series. Turned on, high fly, deep left field. Off the wall. Stevenson scores. Myers home. A 2-run double for Matt McLain. It's a 3-spot in the inning and a 5-2 lead in the 10th for the Reds.
That swing of the bat made everyone in this ballpark forget that Sandy Alcantara ever showed up here tonight. A hanging breaking ball. And this is what happens. You throw 30 pitches in an inning as a reliever, you're going to run out of gas sooner or later. And if you're a breaking ball pitcher, you're going to hang one sooner or later. He hung it, and Matt McLain destroyed it.
Second double of the day from McLain. Fauché is gone. King coming on. The Reds go deeper in the Marlins pen and still have a chance to salt their lead. Another dynamic double by Matt McLean. Once in the 9th, once in the 10th. Infield in, Ellie De La Cruz. Strike one from John King.
Keep that foot on the accelerator, John. Don't let up.
2 walks drawn by De La Cruz tonight. Grounded left side. Runner breaks from third. Bobble throw to first. Late break from second. So Friedel scores. McLean takes third. RBI for De La Cruz. A 4 spot in the inning. It's 6-2 Reds.
Hey, the Marlins almost bungled that play. Norby was not. He didn't know where his feet were at first base. There was a little bit of indecision at third from Paulie. And Norby had to do a bit of a 2-step over there at first before he found the bag.
They're going to intentionally walk Sal Stewart. He will not see a pitch. They want left on left King against Will Benson. Well, Benson, who had come on to run, gets his first plate appearance in the game. And it's the first career intentional walk for Sal Stewart. And Cowboy, it's probably not going to be his last.
I would say not.
One at one.
Yeah, the thing that I love about tonight, not just the fact that the Reds have scored here late, but they never gave up their intensity early in the ballgame, even though Alcantara was dominating. I mean, he was as good as you're going to see a starting pitcher. But there was just something about, whether it be the pitching, whether it be the defense, the base running, you can pick anything that you want, but the Reds kept it close. And as soon as that bullpen door opened, chaos.
And on the hands of Benson.
Young teams have to figure out a way to believe in themselves and believe in each other. And they go step by step by step. And once you get a taste of that, boy, it is tough to rein them in.
Large walking lead for McLean. Sent to center. Marcy. 6 unanswered runs late by the Reds. With a 4-run lead.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Cincinnati Reds and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, Cirque de Cincinnati. Matt McLean, critical. Couple of key doubles. Knocked in 2, scored once as the Reds have rallied from down 2-0. Last time they rallied to win on the road, trailing by multiple runs in the 9th. 26th of August 2023 in Arizona. Dane Myers stays in the game. He is now in center field. Graham Ashcraft on the mound. First pitch to Otto Lopez is in there for a strike. Spencer Steer is now at first. TJ Friedel over to third. To left field, rather. And a slider misses for Ashcraft. Lopez is 0 for 4, does have an RBI ground down. Way out in front. Sharply right side base hit. Free runner Marcy over to third. Throw in cut by Steer.
Breaking ball again from Ashcraft. He just leaves this up.
So now Graham Pauley stands in. He had come on defensively at third base. Broke his bat up the middle. De La Cruz tag, spin, no play. Later break from third. The free runner Marcy scores. You can see the frustration for De La Cruz, who had visions of a double play, but he gets the middle runner. Connor Norby has been on 3 times. Infield hit, couple of walks. Cowboy, the last time the Reds rallied, multiple runs down in the 9th to win that game against the Diamondbacks, that was the Nabil Crismatt balk that pushed home T.J. Friedel in the 11th inning. Appeal? No. Two-0. Grounded to De La Cruz. Feed to McLean on the first. In time, double play. The Reds rally from down a deuce in the 9th. They take it at 10, doubling up the Marlins 6-3.
Boy, on a night where the first 8 innings looked like the Reds were just not going to be able to do it. A tough pitcher in Sandy Alcantara, but you got to love the fact that the Reds continued that fight and grinding. No giving up, and absolutely tied it up there late and win it in extra innings. Wow, against the team's best, and you come to play? I think I like that.
The Reds are now 5-0 in road games. Do you know the last time that happened? Wire to wire, 1990.
The Reds are scoring runs in extra innings. That is not something that happened last year. They also are winning ball games that are close. Granted, this is a 6-3 ball game, but it was a 2-zip ball game seemingly forever.
They have matched their longest win streak of last year. It is 5 consecutive wins for the Reds. They are now 8-3 on their season. They were great late. We'll break it down. Reds post game to come. Word from the clubhouse and the skipper. Cincinnati at 1 point, 6 unanswered for a 6-3 win.